You may have a card.
Good evening. My name is William Landers. I am the Editor-in-Chief of Ameriborn Constitution News and also its owner. And how are you, sir?
Oh, I'm fine. It's nice to be here. Beautiful city.
Can you tell our viewers what your name is, sir?
I'm Dick Army. I'm from Dallas, Texas.
And I believe you were the former Speaker of the House?
No, I'm a former Majority Leader for 8 years. I'm currently the Chairman of Freedomworks. We're a small government, conservative grassroots organization, and I work very closely with Tea Party folks all over the country.
Can you tell me, how do you feel that Connecticut is joined in this movement to revitalize our Constitution and our conservative principles?
Well, you see that. Of course, if you take a look at the Constitution and certainly the history of the American Revolution, the War of Independence, and so on, it would be the most natural thing for the states up here in the Northeast to be involved in the cause of liberty. Our problem as a country is we've got sort of a eroded and diminished knowledge and awareness of the preciousness of liberty. Uniquely great is the American Constitution, and so much of what is great about America seems now by a lot of people to just not be appreciated. So it's fun to watch it sort of being rediscovered and reasserted, and especially up here in the Northeast where it all started.
I happen to be the 11th generation great-grandson of Governor William Bradford. And we took part in pretty much every aspect of the development of America. Can you tell me, what do you think the next step is? Can we bring back that kind of moral character back to the United States again?
Well, first of all, I think you have to do is you have to get in the legislative bodies and governorships and the White House, in courts, you have to get personnel in office who understand the preciousness of American liberty, the richness of our history and our tradition, our institutions, and want to serve the cause of liberty in the lives of the American people, as opposed to be in an office that serves them. And I think we see a great movement in that direction in this country this year at all levels of government. But we've got, once they get in office, we've got to keep them going bad once they get there. So the grassroots movement is what will preserve liberty in America.
Governor Bradford instituted the rights of ownership of private property. What's your take on private property?
Well, I worry about I happen to be a property owner, and of course you can't have a private enterprise, free enterprise economy without private property. The government's lack of respect recently for private property with such things as eminent domain and some of the practices now I think is getting frighteningly out of control, and we need again to reassert that.
Oil companies can come in and if they have mineral rights, they can just go right in your backyard and put up an oil rig. What's your stance on that?
No, we're doing much better in Texas than we did in the old boom deal. My wife and I have 89 acres. We have mineral rights. They've been negotiating with us for 2 or 3 years. They don't have the mineral rights now. They don't have a lease on the mineral rights, nor do they have a right to drill on our land. And they probably will never get that as long as we're still alive. And we're quite able to protect it.
Governor Perry in Texas was a big proponent of the Nafta Super Highway. What's your stance on the Nafta Super Highway?
Well, the fact that matters, because of NAFTA, because of trade across the continent, there's going to be transportation up and down the middle of America. We might as well have the roads that accommodate to it, otherwise we just have a harassment of our citizenry. And so some maintenance, expansion of the routes that are more travel is basically, I think, quite in line. Again, I think if you go back to Adam Smith, The Wealth of Nations, you understand the building of infrastructure is a legitimate and necessary function of government, ought to be done correctly. Nobody should have a mile of road that isn't needed and doesn't well serve the community. But I think the Interstate 35 probably would qualify for a good deal of government expansion, just in terms of the traffic it has to bear.
Do you think that it being owned by Spain though is a good thing for the United States, or do you think that it should be owned by Americans?
Well, the whole idea of toll roads is a very difficult issue in Texas, and obviously we're not accustomed to toll roads as they are in the Northeast, but it's become quite a fashionable thing for a lot of states to sell their toll roads to other people outside even of the country. I'm not a real fan of that practice, and I don't want to see it continue. I don't know exactly what's happening with the governor, but I think he's got a little more sympathy for the notion. First of all, if somebody gives you a price of the discounted present value of the future flow of earnings, it's clear that they think there'll be more revenue coming in the future than what that value is today. So they've given you the best testimony about why you ought to keep the road.
Can you tell me how do you plan on expanding FreedomWorks from here?
Well, as always, we stay active. We stay active on all the fronts in all the states, at every level of government, and we keep an open invitation to everybody. If you believe in liberty, if you want to be involved, come take a look at us. We'd love to have you work with us. We're basically an organization that's out there doing things and looking for that help that comes to us, but we don't actively recruit that much, because my view is if somebody loves liberty or looking for a chance to be involved, that's a good worker. If you're trying to put the spur in them, you probably don't need that.
Well, I want to thank you very much for doing an interview with me, and thank you for coming to Connecticut. And again, my name is William Landers, owner and editor-in-chief of Ameriborn News. Thank you. God bless you.